is just round the corner. Keeping this in mind, we know each and every one of you is really excited, but is also looking for the last final push and the fillip that is going to add those extra 5, 10, 15 percentile to your final CAT score. Well, because of this, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you the last lap to CAT 2022, starting on the 17th of October all the way till the 20th of November. Yes, 4.5 intensive, in fact almost 5 intensive weeks of preparation. What more, the focus is predominantly going to be CAT, which means, as we know, time, speed, distance and time and work in totality have almost equal weightage or sometimes even more weightage than geometry. So can we go ahead and leave geometry and just focus on these two? Can we go ahead and leave entire theta para jumbles and still score a 99.99 percentile in verbal? Yes, we can. This and much more in terms of preparation, in terms of intensive questions that we're going to look at and the smartest way of going ahead and solving that. So catch us on the BYJU'S Exam Prep app, and in case you missed that, on YouTube. But go ahead, download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app and also get a 99 percentilers kit which is going to help you ace CAT 2022. See you soon.
Hello friends, a very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome to our next session on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now, one thing that a lot of us were waiting for was the release of CAT admit cards, and I believe that most of you must have downloaded your admit cards and you must have known which slot of CAT you'll be taking your examination in and what will be your center. All right, so yes, good evening everyone. Varun says he has got morning slot. Okay, so good evening everyone. Please quickly confirm if I'm audible and visible to all of you, and then we'll start this session. I'm Gaurav Gupta and I once again welcome all of you on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep in the series Last Lap to CAT 2022 that we are running for all of you since last few days, and we'll be running this series for the next 20 days as well. Now here in this series you can catch us live at 7 o'clock almost on daily basis with some of the questions that are, I can say that the concepts or the questions that are highly probable to come in our examination. So a lot of you have got morning slot. Okay, so Nice. So guys, we have 3 slots. Like people who have got slot number 1, no need to worry, no need to be disappointed. Like generally we think that if we'll get the first slot, then we'll not be able to have a first-hand experience about the analysis, number of questions and the pattern of CAT. But that doesn't matter at all. Even if I tell you the number of questions in each section, then you cannot plan your strategy in a matter of 1 or 2 hours. So it's absolutely fine. It's good that you don't know, you don't have any presets, and you'll be going in the examination hall with a very fresh mindset. All right, so you must welcome slot number 1 as well, because it's all your preparation that is going to be tested in the examination hall. So all the very best for the examination. And friends, once again I welcome all of you on our channel of YouTube BYJU'S Exam Prep, and today we are going to solve some of the questions on Venn diagrams. Now a few days back I have conducted one session on Venn diagrams. Most of you, the names I still remember, most of you have attended that session, and today I have brought forward in front of you some of the sets, some of the hand-picked sets by me, which will definitely help you in understanding or cracking different types of logics related to the Venn diagrams in your CAT examination. All right, so first of all, let us understand the weightage in the CAT examination. So area, definitely this particular questions can come in data interpretation or logical reasoning. Now sub area, I can say the name, definitely we know Venn diagrams. And there can be different types of questions that can be made on Venn diagrams, starting from the concepts related to 3-set Venn diagrams, 4-set Venn diagrams, in which you just need to draw the Venn diagram and you get unique value of all the parameters, right? There can be some different cases in which there may not be a unique Venn diagram, unique set of values for the variables involved, and hence there may be some questions on maxima and minima. So yes, there can be different types of questions that can be made on Venn diagrams, and we need to practice all these questions a lot. Now, talking about the weightage, we can generally get a set based on 4 parameters in LRDI section, and this trend we have been seeing, we have been watching, we have been observing since last few years. Okay, so you can expect at least one set on Venn diagrams. No matter if it's a 4-set Venn diagram, you may also get a 3-set Venn diagram, which we have seen in CAT 2017 slot number 1. Yes, so over the years, we have been seeing different types of questions coming up from Venn diagrams. So that makes this particular area one of the most important areas in LRDI section of our CAT examination. All right. Now, Arvind, you are asking about my slot. Okay, so I'll reveal that my slot is the second one. Okay, so it's an afternoon slot. So I'm really sorry that I'll not be able to help my students with the analysis of slot number 1. But definitely, as you all know, BYJU'S Exam Prep will help all of you with the proper analysis of slot number 1 as soon as the examination is over. So stay tuned and keep watching the live channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep, and do also watch it on 27th of November for the analysis of each and every section of CAT. So yes, as soon as CAT examination will be over, we'll be live on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep with the analysis of slot number 1 as well as slot 2 and 3. All right. Okay, Ritika says her slot is also the second one. Great, Ritika, good. All right, so let's not talk much about which slot we have got, because I believe all the slots are absolutely same. It's your performance at the end of the day in any of the slots that is going to matter a lot. All right, okay, so friends, let's start this lecture, let's start this session and talk about Venn diagrams. All right, so like I said, I have handpicked some of the sets. All right, and these will definitely help you in clearing up or in building up most of the logics that will be tested in your examination. Now, the first practice set is based on 4-set Venn diagram. The information related to it will be given on 2 different slides. The first slide will give you general information, and the second slide will help you in making the Venn diagram. I'll be displaying the first slide for a few seconds, and I'll be staying on the second slide for somewhere around 2 to 3 minutes so that you can draw the Venn diagram. All right, so let's look at practice set 1. The directions are in front of you. So a survey of 600 schools in India was conducted to gather information about their online teaching learning process, OTLP. The following 4 facilities were studied. Okay, so have a look at this. This is the first slide for the first set of information for all of you. Have a look at it, read the entire data, and then I take you to the next slide, using which you'll be able to draw the Venn diagram. All right, so one of the students is asking, like Pragya is asking, sir, is there anything like slot 1 is most difficult or something? No, Pragya, please stay away from such rumors. Okay, slot number 1 not necessarily will be the most difficult, and generally what we have observed that the level of difficulty of all the slots are similar. Okay, there may be a difference of like a few notches between the level of difficulty of all the 3 slots, but you can consider that all the 3 slots will be of similar level of difficulty. All right, so please stay away from such rumors if anybody is telling you that slot number 1 is the most difficult. All right, now let's move on to the second slide. So this says that a survey of 600 schools in India has been conducted. So sample spaces of 600, and it will be divided in 4 facilities: F1, F2, F3 and F4. All right. Now, moving ahead and looking at the next set of information using which you can draw the Venn diagram, and I'll be staying on this slide for 2 minutes, giving you some time to draw your own Venn diagram. Understand that it is very important to draw the Venn diagram by yourself, otherwise there will be zero learning in this lecture. You all are attending live lecture, so you must draw a Venn diagram on your own and then compare the Venn diagram or the logic that I'm using to complete this Venn diagram. All right, but do some rough work by yourself in order to have some learning. Okay. The following observations were summarized from the survey. Number one, 80 schools did not have any four facilities, F1, F2, F3, F4. Second, 40 schools had all four. Third, the number of schools with only F1, only F2, only F3 and only F4. I have told you in the last lecture the importance of this word, only. This word only should be considered properly. Okay. So it is 25, 30, 26 and 20. Now go with each and every statement one by one. Fill that piece of information in the Venn diagram. You all know how to draw a four-set Venn diagram. I have taught you in the previous lectures. Okay. So use whatever information is given one by one, step by step to finish your Venn diagram. Okay. Number four, the number of schools with exactly three of the facilities was the same irrespective of which three were considered. 313 schools had F2, 26 schools had only F2 and F3 but neither F1 nor F4. Among the schools having F4, 24 had only F3. Be careful with statement number 7. It is very important. So among the schools having F4, 24 had only F3, 45 had only F2. Number 8, 162 schools had both F1 and F2. And the last statement, the number of schools having F1 was the same as the number of schools having F4. Now, based on all these conditions, based on all these observations about the survey, try to draw your Venn diagram. I'll wait for a few more seconds before I'll start filling up the Venn diagram. Okay, another 15 seconds and then we'll begin filling up the Venn diagram. Okay, so I want help from each and every one of you. Okay, so just keep confirming, just keep acknowledging if you are getting the same values. Okay, so after every statement, I would like to see a yes from each and every one of you to show your participation. Oh, lovely. So Akhil, education word, Pragya, Varun, Amrit, lovely to see all of you done with this set. Shweta, good. Okay, so now all of you can help me together, right? So I'm moving on to the next screen where I have drawn an empty Venn diagram and all the conditions are here in front of you. So let us take all these conditions one by one. So obviously we know that there are a total of 600 schools which were surveyed. Okay. Now out of these 600, statement number 1 says that 80 schools did not have any four facilities, F1, F2, F3, F4. So there are 80 who don't have any of these. Okay, so 80 will be written outside this Venn diagram. All right, so out of 600, 80 does not have anything. So I can say that the values that I'll be filling in this Venn diagram, the sum of all those values should be equal to 600 minus 80, that is 520. All right, now let's look at the second statement. A second statement is 40 schools had all four children, all four facilities. 40 school had all four facility. So all four is in the center. All right, 40. Krishna, you are also done. Good to see that. Other students who are done, please keep writing, and thank you for replying with the numbers. Good. So keep writing these numbers, keep showing your participation. So this value is 40. Now next statement number 3, the number of schools with only F1, only F2, only F3 and only F4 are, so only F1 is 25, only F2 is 30. Look at the place, carefully look at the place where I'm writing these numbers. Only F3 is 26. Gautam is also done. Good. And only F4 is 20. Right? Next, statement number 4. The number of schools was with exactly 3 of these facilities was the same irrespective of which 3 were considered. Now exactly 3 wale areas kaun se hain? I'm just putting a tick mark. You must remember these things. So these are the 4 places, these are the 4 regions which include exactly 3 of the 4 facilities. Okay. Now these values are same. These values are same, so I'll use a variable x for this place. Okay, so I'll put a variable x at these places, x, x, x and x. So all these 4 values are equal. Moving on to the next statement, statement number 5. F2 has 313. So facility 2, 313. So this complete sum that I am shading right now, so all these regions that covers this shaded portion is 313. So the sum is 313 in this case. Okay, all right, let's move forward with the next statement, statement number 6. 26 schools had only F2 and F3. 26 had only F2 and F3. So I'm going to write 26 here. So 26 only F2 and F3. They don't have F1 and they don't have F4. So they are not under the region of F1 and F4. All right. Am I clear? You all can write yes. You all can acknowledge up till this point. Next statement, statement number 7. Among the schools having F4. So now you look at all the schools that are under F4. 24 had only F3. So 24 had only F3. So 24 will come at this place. Okay, 24 will come at this place, and 45 had only F2. So that means F4 and F2, this particular value will be 45. So I'll write it here. So this region is F2 and F4 only. Okay, let's move ahead. Statement number 8. 160 schools had both F1 and F2. So F1 and F2, 162. Okay. Now which region covers F1 and F2? Make sure you have taken care of the word only. Only is not mentioned here. So whatever region is there in F1 and F2 will have a value of 162. I'll shade it for you. So these regions that I'm shading now is F1 and F2. Okay. All right. So the sum of these 4 regions is given as 162, and I'll write it at the top here, 162. So sum of these 4 regions will be 162. Okay. Last statement, statement number 9. The number of schools having F1 was same as the number of schools having F4. So I'll write it at the right hand side. On the right hand side, F1 is equal to F4. I'll use it later. Okay, right? So these are the things that are given to us. Now on the basis of this, I'll have to find the value of, first of all, I'll find the value of X. Okay, and then I'll see what can be done. So can anyone help me with the value of X? Meanwhile, I'll calculate the value of X. Okay, right. Now consider this portion. Consider this portion that I have circled, that I have highlighted. Okay, the sum of these fours should be 313 minus 162. The sum of these 4 will be 313, that is entire F2, and I'll subtract from that the portion which is common with F1. Okay, so in charo ka sum, the sum of these four should be 313 minus 162, and that is equal to 151. All right, so now I can say that 30 plus 26 plus x plus 45 should be equal to 151. So the value of x will come out to be 30 and 26 is 56, 56 and 45 is 101. So 151 minus 101, the value of x will come out to be 50. All right, so now I have got the value of x. Lovely, great. So I'll substitute the value of x at all the places where x was written. So let's write the value of x as 50. So 50 will be the value of these four regions which have exactly 3. All right, done. So this is 50. Okay, so this is the first set of calculation. I'll keep on erasing the calculation that I'm doing outside the Venn diagram just to make the space for other calculations. Okay, all right. So let's clean this screen. Now let's find out the value of this empty region F1 and F2 only, where I have put the question mark. Okay, so can you all tell me the value of this question mark? Now the sum of these four regions should be 162, F1 and F2. I'll use this. So 162 should be equal to the sum of these four regions. All right. Now the value of these three regions, 50 plus 50 plus 40 is 140. So 162 minus 140. Simple. There is no need to make an equation out of it, I hope. So the value of this question mark will be equal to 162 minus 140. That is equal to 22. Absolutely correct. Lovely. So only F1 and F2. Absolutely correct, Ritika. So you have done it. You have written it perfectly. So only F1 and F2 will be equal to 22. Right? So I have these values now. Now, next thing I'm going to use is F1 and F4 are equal. F1 and F4 are equal. Okay. Now, F1 and F4, they are equal. Now, there are some common numbers in F1 as well as F4, which I would not consider. ठीक है, या फिर चलो consider कर लेते हैं इन्हें. I'll use the variables A and B here. So first of all, let's write the sum of F1. Okay, in terms of A and B. So in terms of A and B, if I'll write the sum of F1, so it will be the sum of this entire region. Okay, but definitely most of you would like to save a lot of time in the calculation. So I'll tell you how you can save a lot of time. Okay, now F1 and F4, this is common, and this is common. Okay, now since F1 and F4 are equal, let us not write the common numbers. This will also be common. I'll not write it. Okay, next in F1 there is a number 50, and in F4 there is a number 50 as well, which is again common. So let's not write these numbers. Okay, now I'll be writing the uncommon numbers. I'm underlining those. 25, 22, and this empty portion, let me call it A. Okay, so 25 plus 22 is 47 plus A, and that should be equal to the remaining portions in F4. So these are 69, 79, 89. This is 89. So the value of A, all of you may write it, the value of A is 89 minus 47, and that is equal to 42. So the value of A will come out to be 42. Understood? So I have saved myself from heavy calculations. Why to consider the common numbers if F1 and F4 were equal? So I have removed all the common numbers and got the value of this A. Okay. So let us clean the screen now. So value of A comes out to be 42. Okay, let me remove all the unwanted portion. Okay, so value of A comes out to be 42, right? So let us write this value 42 here. Okay, now there is only one region which is left, as you can see at the bottom left corner of this Venn diagram. Now what I can do is I can apply the sum of all these regions as 520, which we have discussed earlier as well. So sum of all of these numbers plus the blank should be equal to 520. Okay, now let's add all of them. Now to add, you can directly consider this portion which is given as 313. F2 का value 313 दिया हुआ है. So there is no need to add these portions separately. Okay, so I'll start from here, 313. Okay, so total, the sum should be 520 minus 313. I'm left with, so right now I'm writing it in front of you, but I do all these things orally. So I'll keep on subtracting these numbers. ठीक है? So 520 में से 313 minus कर दिया, I'll be left with 207. Okay, 207. Now 207, I'll subtract 67 from it. So 7 subtract किया 200 and then 60 subtract किया, minus 67, I'll be left with 140. Then I'll subtract 50. So 140 minus 50 will be 90. Okay. Then I'll subtract 50 again, 50 and 20, 70 subtract kar denge, minus 70, and I'll be left with 20. Okay, so 20 should be the value of this empty region. Right? Now, are you understanding? Are you having a look at the way I'm using these numbers, the way I'm doing calculations? So I've not added them. I kept on subtracting the given numbers from 520. Okay, so that makes things a little faster. And I was clubbing some values to get some easier numbers. So this value comes out to be 20. And yes, I am finished with the first Venn diagram. Okay, so we have drawn the Venn diagram completely. And now let's have a look at some of the questions based on this. Okay. All right. So all of you can note down this Venn diagram, or you can click the picture of this screen where I have drawn the final Venn diagram. And these are the values that we have obtained for each of these regions, F1, F2, F3, and F4. Okay, so let's have a look at the very first question based on this set. I want a quick response from each and every one of you. Let's finish this Venn diagram. Let's finish all the 4 questions related to this and quickly move on to the next one. So question number 1, what was the total number of schools having exactly 3 of the 4 facilities? So which option is the correct answer? A, B, C, or D? You just have to write your answer in terms of A, B, C, or D. Quickly, all of you. Come on. I want an answer from each and every one of you. Okay, so C, most of you are giving option C as the answer. All right, so all of you have given the same answer. Nice. So let's have a look at it. So this is the diagram in front of us. Exactly 3 we have already marked it at the beginning of the set. So these are the 4 regions that represents exactly 3. We need to find out the total number. So 50, 50, 50, 50, each of the values is 50 and they will sum up to 200. So 200 should be the correct answer, and that is option C given by all of you. All right, wonderful to see this response. Let's have a look at the next question. Question number 2 on your screen now. What was the number of schools having facilities F2 and F4? Please calculate the answer wisely. Have a look at which all regions you need to consider and then add and then post your answer. Music core, the first one to give the answer. Okay. Pragya, Akhil, Nisha, Education Word, Varun. Now Mayank says 45. Okay, Mayank. Okay, wonderful. Now let's have a look at it. Okay. Now this is the Venn diagram that we have in front of us. Number of schools having facilities F2 and F4. Now one thing is important, only is not written. Okay, so F2 and F4, whichever is there in F2 and F4 will consider everything. Doesn't matter if it is there in F1 or F3. So F2 and F4, these are the four common regions in both of them. So these four regions are present in F2 as well as F4. So add them and you will get the answer. So the sum here is coming out to be 185, and that is option A, which is the correct answer. All right, fine. I hope I am clear to each and every one of you, those who have given a different answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. What was the number of schools having only F1 and F3? A very simple question. Come on, give me the number. Only F1 and F3. Anyone with the answer? Okay, Pragya, the first one. Okay, good, 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 good. Nice. Chaliye, check karte hain. So only, so the word only is there. So only F1 and F3. So let's mark the region which is only F1 and F3. And this is the region. So the number is 42 and hence it should be the answer. Yes, 42 is the correct answer. Next question, question number 4. What was the number of schools having only F1 and F4? Similar question, you all can answer very quickly. Only F1 and F4. Okay, Prajwal with the first answer. Prajwal says 51. TechByte says 20. Prajwal says again changing the answer 42. 20, 20, 20 and 20 is the answer of most of you. Let's quickly have a look at it. So only F1 and F4, which is the region? The region that we calculated at the end. So only F1 and F4. Make sure that whatever region you are selecting should be there only in F1 and F4 and it should not be there anywhere else. Okay, so a lot of you have committed a mistake. So this is the only region that comes in F1 and F4 only. So the answer for this question should be equal to 20. All right. Am I clear to each and every one of you? All right, so quickly give me an acknowledgement if you all are clear with the first set, the mistakes that you have committed in some of the questions, so that we can proceed and look at one difficult set. So the next set is slightly higher level of difficulty as compared to this one. So let's move on to the second practice set for the day, practice set number 2. So all of you can reset yourself. Let's wait for 5 seconds. And all of you, request is to go back and quickly press the like button for this session. Come on. So only 22 likes are there right now. I want the number of likes to be increased by 50 immediately. So please go back and like this session and then we can start with practice set 2 of a little higher level of difficulty. So all of you quickly press the like button, come back, reset yourself, open a new sheet of paper, and here are the directions for practice set on your screen in the next few seconds. All right, so here it is. Directions for second set. Again, they will be given on 2 different slides. So general piece of information will be there on the first slide. It says applicants for the doctoral program of AIE and BIE. There are 2 institutes. Have to appear for CET. So there is a common entrance test, CET. So for applicants of for the doctoral program of these two institutes, they'll have to appear for CET. Okay. The test has 3 sections: physics, chemistry, and maths. Among those appearing for CET, those at or above the 80th percentile in at least 2 sections and at or above the 90th percentile overall. So sectional cutoff is 80 percentile and overall cutoff is 90 percentile. You all will understand the meaning of cutoffs. Now these people are selected for the next test, AET, Advanced Entrance Test, which is conducted by the first institute, AIE. Okay, so AET is used by AIE for the final selections, right? So first of all of them will appear for CET, right? Those who will qualify in CET, they will appear in AET, which is conducted by the first institute, and it is used for its selection procedure. All right, so this is the general information that is given to you. Now some particular set of information will be there on the next screen, based on which you can draw your Venn diagram. Okay, so this is the next piece of information. Now, huge amount of information, I understand that, and I'll give you a step-by-step way of solving this Venn diagram. But before that, I want all of you to at least draw the Venn diagram by yourself and try to fill up some of the values, try to find out some of the values of the variables. At least work on this for 2 minutes. Okay. Now the statement says that for the 200 candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall. So now there are a total of 200 candidates who have scored more than or like equal to or more than 90th percentile overall on CET. The following are known about their performance in CET. Okay, so we know that these 200 candidates are at or above 90th percentile. Okay, the first statement, no one is below 80th percentile in all the 3 sections. Second statement, 150 are at or above 80th percentile in exactly 2 sections. Third, the number of candidates at or above the 80th percentile only in P is same as only in C, and it is same as only in M. So only physics, only chemistry, only maths, these numbers are equal. Okay. Statement number 4, the number of candidates below 80th percentile in P, below 80th percentile in C, and below 80th percentile in M are in the ratio 4:2:1. Now just work on these 4 statements, and try to draw the Venn diagram for the 200 candidates who are at or above 90th percentile on CET. Okay, so just read up till this point and try to draw a Venn diagram for physics, chemistry, and maths. Come on, go ahead. Now this is a wonderful set. You will love this set, and yes, why not? This is the actual set of CAT. Now I'll tell you that we have to keep our calm while solving such questions, because it gets very easy for us to unsettle our mind while doing such questions. Okay, we start having thoughts like, this is a lengthy set, will not be able to do, should we enter this set or not? But believe me, every set that I have seen in Venn diagrams or on Venn diagrams is doable. Okay. Yes, music core, this is difficult, but it is also doable. So you will have to have faith on yourself. There are lots of statements which are given. You just need to have faith on yourself, deal with these statements one by one, and try to draw the Venn diagram. I'll definitely be helping you with a proper approach for taking such types of questions. All right, a few more seconds and then we'll start with the discussion of this set. Okay. So I've drawn an empty Venn diagram for all the 200 candidates who are at or above 90th percentile. So universal set, the value is 200 that I'll write outside the box. Okay, so let's solve it step by step. All of you focus here and let's see how to solve this particular set. Okay, so for the 200 candidates who are at or above the 90th percentile overall, based on the CET examination, the following are the known facts about the performance in CET. So total 200 candidates will be the universal set. Now these are the candidates who have scored 90 percentile or more, right? Now out of these, there will be some who have cleared the sectional cutoff in physics or maths or chemistry. So I have drawn a 3-set Venn diagram, right? So the 3 subjects are physics, chemistry and maths. I'll denote 1 circle each: physics, chemistry and maths. All right. Now let's start filling the numbers, the values of each and every number. Okay. So first statement, no one is below 80th percentile in all 3 sections. So these circles will include the students who have scored above 80th percentile in each of these subjects. So the statement is saying that there is no one who is below 80th percentile in all 3 sections. So that means outside this region will be equal to 0. Okay, so this value will be equal to 0. Let's move on to the second statement. 150 are at or above 80th percentile in exactly 2 sections. So exactly 2 sections, that means this value and this value, the sum should be equal to 150. Okay, so I'll put the variables here. So let me denote them by the variables. Let's say this is A, only chemistry and maths. Let's say this is B, only physics and maths, and let's say this is C, only physics and chemistry. So the sum of these 3, A plus B plus C. Wait, I'll write it on the right hand side of the screen so that I can keep this with me forever. Okay, so A plus B plus C is given as 150. All right, exactly 2. 150 are at or above the 80th percentile in exactly 2 sections. I hope this is clear. Okay, I am spending more time on this so that each and every one of you will understand this particular question. Statement number 3. The number of candidates at or above 80th percentile only in physics is same as the number of candidates at or above 80th percentile only in chemistry. So this is X. This will also be equal to X. Okay. And the third, the same is the number of candidates at or above the 80th percentile only in maths. So this is also equal to X. So only physics, only chemistry and only maths, they all are equal. Statement number 4. The number of candidates below 80th percentile in physics. Now below 80th percentile in physics, careful. Now inside the circle of physics, everyone is above 80th percentile or at the 80th percentile. Now they are talking about the number of candidates below 80th percentile. So can you tell me in terms of variables, which all regions will it include? The number of candidates below 80th percentile in physics. I am waiting for all of you. Okay, I'll wait for 10 seconds and then write the answer. So everything which is outside the circle of physics will be considered. So I can say that it is X, X and A. Okay, so 2X plus A will be the value. Am I clear? So 2X plus A. Okay, right? So everything which is outside physics will be considered. Okay, so Amrit, Akhil, yes, good. So it will be 2X plus A. Next, number of candidates below 80th percentile in C. So everything which is outside the circle of chemistry, that is 2x plus b. And similarly, the number of candidates below 80th percentile in maths. So everything that is outside the circle of maths, 2x plus c. And this is in the ratio 4:2:1. So I'm assuming these values as 4k, 2k, and 1k. Okay, so I have made 3 more equations. Now understand that in total I have 4 equations. One is written on the right hand side at the top of the screen and 3 on the left hand side of the screen. I have 4 equations, and up till now I have 4 variables. A, B, C. No, I have 5 variables. So let's see. So I have to use some special equations kind of thing. I'm adding one more variable. So y is for all of them. Okay. Now let's start solving. Now what I'll do is I'll add all these 3 equations. So the sum of these 3 equations will be on the left hand side 6x plus a plus b plus c. I'll write its value as 150 and equal to 7k. Alright, so 6x plus 150 is equal to 7k is the equation that I have made. So writing the value of k in terms of x and in terms of x, so it will be 150 plus 6x whole divided by 7. Further, I can write it as, look at what I am doing. So out of 150, I'll separate a multiple of 7, which is 147. So 147 upon 7 is 21 plus 3 plus 6x whole divided by 7. Okay, so this is the value of k. Now I know that k, x, a, b, c, all of them should be positive integers. So this is one extra amount of information that I have for all these variables. Okay, now I'll write the value of k again separately, properly. So what I've done is I've separated 150. I've taken out the highest multiple of 7 because the denominator was 7. So I have written it as 147 upon 7, which is 21, plus the remaining part out of 150. So 150 minus 147, remaining is 3. So 3 plus 6x divided by 7. Okay. Now lack of space is there. So please try to adjust with these numbers. Okay. All right. Now this is one equation I have. All right. So I'll write it on the next page. So I'll write that k is equal to 21 plus 3 plus 6x whole divided by 7. So I'll keep it separately. Okay. Now let's move back. Now I have a plus b plus c. The sum of these 3, a plus b plus c, as 150. Okay. So the value of the remaining portion, which is x, x, x and y. So in सबका sum क्या होना चाहिए? Kaushal, good that you are writing each and everything. Education word good. Akhil. Now other students also, come on yaar, keep writing some equations. So other than a, b and c, whose value is 150, the value of the remaining variables should be equal to 200 minus 150. Okay. So I'll write the value of all the other variables. So x is there 3 times and y is there. So the equation will become 3x plus y equals 50. Okay, so some students have written this equation. Nice to see that. So 3x plus y equals to 50. Okay. Now, if I'll consider this equation and look at the values of x and y, so can you all tell me what can be the maximum value of x? What can be the maximum value that x can take in this equation? Come on. What can be the maximum value that x can take in this equation? This is my question. Now if I'll put x, or if I'll put y as 0, then x will be 50 divided by 3. That is 16 point something. So the maximum value that x can take has to be 16. So I can say that x will be less than 17. Alright. So I have derived this thing. X cannot be 17 or more. So the maximum value that x can take will be 16. Right? Okay. Now let's come to the equation on the left hand side. Now, in this equation, what is the minimum value of x such that k will be an integer? Again, I'll repeat my question. Minimum value of x such that k is an integer. Now for this, what you have to do is, you will have to look at this part, the second part of the equation. 3 plus 6x should be completely divisible by 7. At x equal to 0, it is not. At x equal to 1, so 6 plus 3, 9, no it is not. At x equal to 2, it is not. At x equal to 3, yes it is. So minimum value that x can take will be equal to 3. Alright. Now corresponding to this, the value of k will come out to be, if I'll put x as 3, 18 plus 3, 21, 21 upon 7 is 3, 3 plus 21 is 24. So the value that k will take will be equal to 24. Am I clear to each and every one of you? I hope I am. Okay. Now, this equation in the raw form, in the original form was, I'll go back. So I'll look at this equation in the original form. So it was 7k at the top of the screen. 7k minus 6x is equal to 150. Okay. So 7k minus 6x equals 150. Now I already have the value of x as 3 and the value of k correspondingly as 24. Now what will be the next set of values of k and x? Now whenever we have linear equation in two variables and we are looking for integral solutions, then we can always say that the value of x will change by the variable, the coefficient of k, and the value of k will change by the coefficient of x. So the value of x will change by 7. So 3 plus 7, that is 10. And the value of k will increase by 6. It will become 30. The next value of x will be 17. Now since I know that x has to be less than 17, so I cannot consider this value of x. Okay, so there can be two cases that I will have. X is equal to 3, correspondingly k is equal to 24, and x is equal to 10, correspondingly k is equal to 30. Alright, Akhil, good that you have written this thing. Kaushal, keep it up. Okay, so I have two cases for the values of x and k. Right? Now let's write other three equations that we made. So I'll go back to the screen. I'll tell you which three equations I'm talking about. So look at the top of your screen. The equation in the form of x, a, b, c and k. Okay. Let's talk about this equation. So I'm writing these equations at the bottom. 2x plus a is equal to 4k. 2x plus b is equal to 2k, and 2x plus c is equal to k. So let's look at the case number 1 on the left hand side of your screen when x is 3 and k is 24. So I want the values of a, b and c quickly. I want quickly the values of a, b and c for this first set of values of x and k. Okay. So the value of a will be, if k is 24, 96 minus 6, that is 90. The value of b will be 48 minus 6, that is 42. And the value of c will be 24 minus 6, that is 18. Okay, so these are the values of a, b and c. Also, if x is equal to 3, what will be the value of y? You can look at the equation written on the right hand side top of the screen. So value of x is known, I can find the value of y. Okay, so the value of y will be, all of you, 50 minus 3x. So 50 minus 9, that is 41. So the value of y is equal to 41. Understood? I hope all of you have written all these numbers. Now I'll go for the second case that I have mentioned at the bottom left of the screen. X equals 10 and k equals 30. I'll write the values of a, b and c, and then after that I'll write the value of y. Okay, so value of A, if X is 10 and K is 30, so 120 minus 20, that is 100. Value of B, 60 minus 20, that is 40. Okay, and the value of C, 30 minus 20, that is 10. Okay, now finally the value of Y, if X is equal to 10, the value of Y will be 50 minus 3X, that is 20. So this is the set of variables. These are the set of values. So now in this case, we don't have unique values of all these variables. We may draw two different set of Venn diagrams. Okay, and these are the values of each of them. Okay, right? Now we are done with drawing one Venn diagram. We are done with almost the entire question. Let us read some extra piece of information which was given earlier in the second paragraph at the bottom of your screen now. Now, what is the story up till now? There were two institutes. They conducted CT examination. Okay. And the qualification in CT examination was 90 percentile overall and 80 percentile sectional cutoff. Now, those who qualify in CET, they will sit for another test, AET, Advanced Entrance Test. Okay. And that is conducted by the first of these institutes. Okay, and the admissions, final admissions will be based on AET, that is conducted by the first institute. Now let's look at what will second institute do after CET examination. Second institute, BIE uses a different process for selection. If any candidate is appearing for AET, so if I am appearing in AET, I have qualified based on CET and I am appearing in AET by AIE, ठीक है? So BIE considers their AET score for the final selection, provided they will not always consider AET. They will consider AET provided the candidate is at or above 80 percentile in physics. So if I've scored above or equal to 80 percentile in physics, then the second institute will consider the AET score. Getting pretty confusing. I understand that. Process each of these information one by one. That is why I did not read this paragraph earlier. Any other candidate at or above 80th percentile in physics in CET but who is not eligible for AET, मतलब सिर्फ physics में 80 percentile score किया है, only in one subject score किया है, but I have not scored in any other subject, is required to appear for a separate test conducted by BI. Fine, simple है. So no nothing, no Venn diagram to be drawn in this case. Altogether, 400 candidates this year who are at or above 80th percentile in physics. So we know that total number of candidates at or above 80th percentile in physics is 400, irrespective they have cleared the overall cutoff or not. Okay, so we understand this part. Let's move on to the questions based on this. Okay, so I have this Venn diagram and these values with me. So I have drawn the Venn diagram and have segregated all these values. K was not required, so I have not written the value of K. So value of X, Y, A, B, C, and there are two sets for this. Okay. Now let's look at the first question, question number 1 on your screen now. Let's see how many of you can answer this one quickly. Now, what best can be concluded about the number of candidates sitting for a separate test for BIE who were at or above 90th percentile overall in CET? So process all this information one by one, step by step. So first is those who were at or above 90th percentile in CET. That means they are talking about these 200 candidates. Okay. What can be best concluded about the number of candidates sitting for separate test for BIE? So BIE का separate test कौन देगा? Physics, it should be greater than equal to 80 percentile. All right. So these may go for BIE. But again here, those who don't qualify in CET, those who don't qualify for the second test will give a separate test. So those who have cleared the cutoff of physics only will be considered here. So that means they are talking about X. All right. So the value of X, according to the calculations that we have done, it can be either 3 or 10. So the correct answer for this question will be equal to option A. So option A is the correct answer. I'll repeat. Now, first of all, in the question, we need to consider only the candidates who are at or above 90th percentile. So that means they are talking about this 200 people, 200 students for which we have drawn the Venn diagram. Sorted? Then understand that who will sit for the separate test of BIE. So for BIE, first of all, I need to clear the cutoff of physics. Okay. Now, if I am eligible for AET, I'll be giving AET. So AET के लिए कौन eligible होगा? At least 2 sections में sectional cutoff clear होना चाहिए. So that means these 3 C, Y and B will not be taking separate test. Only X will be taking separate test. So the correct answer is either 3 or 10. Okay. All right. So A option is the correct answer. Let's move on to the second question. Now second question easy hai, zyada difficult nahi hai. It says if the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall and also at or above 80th percentile in all the 3 sections is a multiple of 5. Now first of all, tell me which region are they talking about in this Venn diagram. So up till this part, which region are they talking about in this Venn diagram? Come on. So first of all, at or above 90th percentile overall, that means they're talking about these 200 people, and at or above 80th percentile in all the 3 sections. So all the 3 sections, that means they are talking about the region Y. Now the value of Y is a multiple of 5. So case number 1, case number 2, which of these 2 cases should be considered? Now since it is given that Y is a multiple of 5, Y is a multiple of 5, so that means we will be considering the second case. Okay, we will be considering the second case. Now according to this, let us now have a look at what are they asking. So what is the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall? Fine, talking about this Venn diagram, and at or above 80th percentile in both physics and maths. All right. So physics and maths only nahi likha hua. So that means we will consider these 2 regions. So B plus Y should be the answer. So according to this, B, the value of B is 40 and the value of Y is 20. So the correct answer should be equal to 60 and not 40. Okay. Understood, education word and Amrit and the other students? So guys, please be careful about the word only. So we have to look at above 80 percentile both in physics and maths. Only was not mentioned, so that is why B plus Y, both the regions should be considered. And the correct answer should be equal to 60 for this question. Okay. All right. Now let's move ahead. And yes, the correct answer was 60. Question number 3. If the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall and also at or above 80th percentile in all the 3 sections is actually a multiple of 5. So the same thing that was given in the previous question. So we know that we need to consider second case. Then how many candidates were shortlisted for AET for AIE? Yes, this is a wonderful question. So how many candidates were shortlisted for AET for AIE? So second case consider karna hai. Then from here, how many candidates were shortlisted for the second examination? Now, who all are shortlisted? So I'll take you back a few slides. So it says that among those appearing in CET, those who are at or above 80th percentile in at least 2 sections and at or above 90th percentile overall are selected for AET. Okay, right? So please be careful while you calculate your answer. So at least 2 sections 80th percentile cutoff should be cleared. Okay, at least 2. So that means exactly 2 wale तीनों region तो आ ही जाएंगे. All the 3 regions in exactly 2 will be covered and exactly 3 will also be covered. So the way, the region that they are talking about is A plus B plus C plus Y. Okay, A plus B plus C, we already know the value 150. The value of Y in the second case is 20. So the answer should be 170. And some of you have given the correct answer. Okay. So yes, 170 is the correct one. Now moving towards the last question, a tricky one. If the number of candidates who are at or above 90th percentile overall and also are at or above 80th percentile in physics in CET is more than 100. Okay, then how many candidates had to sit for a separate test of BIE? Now, which case needs to be considered? Case number 1 or case number 2? For this, you need to tell me which all regions are they talking about. At or above 90th percentile overall, that means it is in this Venn diagram. Also are at or above 80th percentile in physics. So which regions are they talking about? Come on, quickly write it. Come on, I need 2 answers. Which region are they talking about? And then based on that, which case will be considered? So Amrit has already directly given the answer. Okay. Now, at or above 80th percentile in physics, that means they are talking about this region, which is X plus Y plus B plus C. Amrit, absolutely correct. Akhil, good. Okay. So this sum they are talking about. Now this sum they are saying that it is more than 100. Case 1, the sum will come out to be X plus Y, 3 plus 41, that is 44. B plus C is 60. So 44 plus 60, 104. And in case 2, 30 and 50, that is 80. So obviously, since this value is greater than 100, I'll be considering case number 1. Okay, so case 1 will be considered. Now the question is important. How many candidates had to sit for separate test for BIE? Now wait. Now I'll go back and use one information that was given here. So wait, I'll erase everything. Look at the bottom of the screen. Altogether, there are 400 candidates this year who are at or above 80th percentile in physics. Okay, so physics may at or above 80th percentile is 400 in total. Doesn't matter they have cleared the overall cutoff or not. We have to find out how many of them sit for separate test for BIE. So out of this 400 who have cleared the cutoff, I can say that this region, and this region, these are the 3 who will be sitting for AET. They don't require the separate test. So only this part will be removed and the remaining will be sitting for the separate test. So these 3 regions will not sit out of 400. These 3 regions will be exempted from the separate test. So out of 400, I'll remove these 3 regions and that will be the final answer. Let's have a look at what are the values of these 3 regions. So out of out of 400, I will subtract C, B and Y. I'm sorry, I'll subtract C, B and Y. Okay. So these are the three which are removed. So Y is 41, B is 42 and C is 18. So 60 and 41, 101. So out of 400, 101 will be removed and the number that will be left will be 299. So 299 candidates will sit for the separate test for BIE. Alright. So a set containing huge amount of information, we have just solved it, and this is the step-by-step procedure to tackle these questions. Okay, so don't worry about the amount of information, don't get overwhelmed with the amount of information that you have in your hand. Okay, just understand that if you keep your calm, if you are patient while doing these questions, then you can tackle most of these questions. Also, one important fact is there were 4 questions in this set, and 2 out of these 4 questions were doable, easily doable. I can say 3 were doable. Okay, so you can finish 2 or 3 questions in a set and then you can move to the next set as well. Okay, fine. So that's it from my side, my dear friends. I hope you liked this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. On your screen is schedule for the upcoming sessions, upcoming 5 sessions up till 5th of November. Okay, so you can stay tuned to the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep for the live coverage of all these sessions in the near future. All right, so please also don't forget us to join, like I mentioned at the beginning of this session. Don't forget to join us for CAT 22 slot wise detailed analysis on 27th of November. Yes, we'll be live with the analysis of each and every section to give you information about the pattern, level of difficulty and the expected cutoffs for each and every section, for each and every slot. Okay, all right, great. Now those who are still like struggling with some of the test series, they don't know like which all tests need to be taken. So we have conducted one extra test for all of you, All India Open Mock, which is live from 28th of November and it will be there up till 6th of November. So make sure that you all are taking this test, All India Open Mock test, because a lot of candidates across India, a lot of serious candidates across India will be taking this test, and you can have an understanding of your level, of your rank vis-a-vis other candidates. Okay, so take this test for a real CAT experience, and this mock is prepared by expert faculty through which you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to know your strengths and weaknesses, and you can make proper strategy for yourself for your CAT. All those candidates who want to prepare for the next session of CAT, next year of CAT and the other examinations, here is complete details about one comprehensive program for the studies of CAT 2023. You can follow us on Insta, subscribe our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, join our Telegram channel, and download our app from Google Play. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. We'll see you in yet another section. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.